So what's going on? Welcome back to my channel. It's me, Baby Gal. I don't know if you notice a difference. You might not, because it's the same vicinity. You know what I'm saying? But I moved around my room, and I did a lot of work in here. And that's what's taken my video a little bit longer to get done. But it's here. I'm queer. And what's up? Son of a bitch, I make myself laugh hysterically. Watch my lives. You guys gotta understand how fucking crazy we get over there on the live streams. And the members only lives is on Thursday nights from 8:30 till whenever I feel like getting off. If you're new here, this channel is where true crime meets bad decisions, if you know what I'm saying, and seriously unhinged behavior, aka Gypsy Rose. I react, speaking of, to the dumpster fires, and I give you my unsolicited, unedited, and unrequested opinion about it all. Because I absolutely love to do that. And that is giving my fucking opinion when nobody cares. I mean, that's one of my favorite fucking things to do. And, like I said, it's one of my favorite fucking things to do. I mean, we've got body cams, wild stories, and very, very questionable life choices. So, sometimes we dip into the darkest cup of tea just to take a sip because we're a little bit nosy. Basically, we talk a little shit about everything. You know what I'm saying? We talk a little shit about everything. So, I mean, I'm already so ready to do this fucking video. I mean, I'm excited. I just got done doing my live stream. My room is beautiful. I'm losing weight. How could you not be happy? I'm really having, really doing good. Only thing is, we got to get these videos out so that we can survive. Anywho, I want to shout out a couple of my members, if you will. I want you all to please go and subscribe to a very special creator that is starting to help a lot with my channel and everything to do with the channel. And her name is Bree, not Gypsy's Bree, but my Bree, if you will. She's going to be helping me a lot with this channel with doing different things behind the scenes. And I'm just so excited to have her here helping me to do things. And so I really would like it if you guys just showed her some love. Go out there and, even if you just say, hey, what's up, or whatever you do, just go show her some love. She's truly a huge help. She really, truly is. And then also, I would love it if you would guys please subscribe too and watch the body cam videos of a very, very sad case on my dear friend JoJo Bashosho's channel. And I will leave links to both of these channels in the description of this video. And also, of course, I put them up when I'm talking about them. You know what I'm saying? But you can't click on that and go to it. So you got to go to the description. I'm just saying. Please and thank you from me in my heart. Both of them have put a lot of time and love into my channel already. And I'm just forever fucking in debt to them and very, very grateful to them. And, when I make it big one day, and I know this channel is going to go far, I have faith in it. I am very confident in it, even though I don't think, sometimes I don't. I'm not very confident, but sometimes I am. And, anyways, when it becomes big, I am going to make sure these girls are very well taken care of. They help me a lot already, and they just want to see me grow, and that is fabulous. And also what true friendship really should be. You should want to push your friends forward, not help them fall. Just a little piece of baby girl wisdom, okay? I give it free sometimes, you know. Anywho, Gypsy Rose is a diabolical woman. We wear the bullshit glasses because of the bullshit about Gypsy Rose's case, okay? And, you know, I don't like having to wear this bullshit glasses. When you're talking about bullshit, you gotta put on the bullshit glasses. And whenever we're talking about Gypsy Rose, we're talking about bullshit. I'm just saying. This creator on TikTok by the name of Viv TV Unplugged points out some very valid points. Gypsy Rose will reoffend. I wholeheartedly believe that. She's very right about stating that Aurora, Ken, and even Parker the dog are in danger. And that's not even a joke. She knows that Ken loves Parker with everything in his heart. So, of course, if Parker gets in the way of her and Ken, what's going to happen? If the baby happens to get in the way of Gypsy and Ken, what do you think might happen? What I mean by getting in the way is getting in the way of their love to the point where it would mean that there was only the chance of them or her. You know what I'm saying?
Because you would rather believe a pretty lie than an uncomfortable truth. That is how Gypsy is able to get away with continuing to spread this false narrative about her mother abusing her. It's uncomfortable to believe that a child would fraudulently portray Munchausen syndrome onto themselves without their parent knowing. However, there is evidence now that proves that when Gypsy had a seizure at 6 years of age, they thought that she was going to be paralyzed from the waist down. She started to get feeling back in her legs, and instead of telling her mother, she decided, I'm going to keep this to myself and pretend that I can't walk so that I can get all the attention. And it worked. Her mother continued to take her to doctor after doctor after doctor, confused as to why her daughter was unable to walk. There is also evidence to prove that Gypsy herself was not eating, complaining about fearing certain foods because she didn't want to eat, which is problematic for a young adolescent growing because they're not getting enough nutrition, which is the reason why she had to get the G-tube inserted. She was struggling to swallow, she was having gag reflexes, acid reflux, and some of these behaviors have started to resurface now that she has been released from prison. Behaviors like pretending to be sick to continue to garner attention, especially from Ken. In this week's episode of Life After Lockup, you see Gypsy pretending to faint to garner attention from Ken. You also saw in last week's episode where he was concerned about her not eating enough anyway. Gypsy likes this sort of attention. This was the same attention that she would get from her mother. She got the concern, the care, the empathy, the sympathy. There is a lot going on psychologically with Gypsy, and I am not a psychologist. However, I do think that she should see one. From an outsider's perspective, she is reverting back to old patterns, old behaviors, and this can become quite dangerous very quickly, especially with a newborn baby in her care. We're already starting to see small hints of jealousy anytime Ken is spending time with Aurora, especially on camera. And another thing that I have noticed is Gypsy is starting to emotionally abuse Ken using his dog, Parker. This constant complaining about the dog because it's something that Ken loves probably more than he loves Gypsy. And when a narcissist thinks that there is something that you value more than your relationship with them, they will do everything that they can to take that away from you. I think baby Aurora is in danger, and I think Parker is in danger, and I think Ken is in danger. I even believe that Ken believes that he's in danger. She mentioned in this week's episode that her and Ken are not spending as much intimate time together. And I don't think that that's an accident. Ken has become increasingly concerned for his own welfare around Gypsy. He made a comment in the episode when she suggested that she would hide their phones, which I think is weird, whenever they were at their baby moon or whatever. And Ken was like, no, that's crazy. What if there's an emergency and we need to call the police? He knows they were getting ready to go to a secluded location in the woods somewhere, and he had genuine concern for his own safety. However, but because they had a camera crew, he probably felt a little at ease that nothing would happen, especially knowing that the camera crew would need to come back. And yeah, you know how that would have worked if the camera crew came back and suddenly Ken was missing. I think Ken is purposely trying to minimize any intimate encounters with Gypsy so that he doesn't become any more emotionally involved with her than he already is. Most men love sex, so the fact that he's not even trying to get it from her says that he's already checked out. Also, in that scene where she's like pretending the bed is too tall and she needs help getting on top of the bed, he like lifted her up, and instead of embracing her with hugs and kisses and affection, I think that that's what she wanted, he immediately went and started giving her belly kisses, giving attention to the child, not to her. I don't think that she liked that very much. But that was another sign for me that he has checked out of the relationship with her and he is solely focused on the care of his child. I fear for Ken, but Ken put himself in this situation. He knew that he was getting involved with a convicted murderer. However, him and Ryan both want to believe that Gypsy had no other choice. This pretty lie that she did everything that she possibly could to get out of this relationship with her mother. The truth is, she didn't do everything that she could. And I think Ken is starting to see that she's a little bit more dangerous than he initially thought. You can only mask who you really are for so long. And her mask is slowly starting to fall away. Even the mask that she tries to portray to the public is starting to fall away. She's becoming increasingly more desperate for attention, and this is not going to end well. Gypsy will reoffend because she has not taken care of her own mental health. She has not taken any steps to better herself as a person, to heal herself emotionally, mentally, psychologically. In fact, she believes that there's absolutely nothing wrong with her and what she's done and what she's doing now. She even went as far after the unaliving, when Nicholas was crying, to tell him, why are you crying? It's not going to bring her back. Like, who does that? He had genuine empathy, and Nicholas had genuine empathy and remorse for what he had done. And the only thing Gypsy could think of was, it's not going to bring her back. She has absolutely no empathy or sympathy for anyone. I don't even know if she knows how to. I don't know if Ken is still with her or if it's only about Aurora right now, but I would suggest that Ken get an attorney and get that baby and himself far away from Gypsy as quickly as possible. Tell me what you think in the comments, because I have been so far behind with what's going on with her. I did also see a live where she was like complaining about Aurora not sleeping and interrupting her precious bath time. I think that all of these little passive aggressive complaints about motherhood, dog ownership, mom life, I think that they are all a sign that she is already over this little phase in her life that she wanted so badly, and she's ready to move on to the next thing. But tell me what you think. I'd love to hear what you think. Well, let's have a conversation. I think Gypsy is dangerous. I think Ken is in danger. I think that baby is in danger, because you would rather believe a pretty lie than an uncomfortable.
She loves attention. She's gotten no help for her mental health. She swears that the prison didn't offer it or she didn't qualify. And that's a crock of fucking shit. Because who would ever say that someone doesn't qualify for mental health help that they're asking for? That doesn't make any fucking sense. Everybody would qualify for it. And my sister went to prison, maybe not the same prison or in the same state, but usually rules are the same. There's nobody that's disqualified. What makes me really, really upset, I just have to say that, like, you know damn well that mainstream media has watched the TikToks, has seen maybe some YouTube videos about it, or whatever the case. And you can't tell me that none of them have said, with an investigative mind, what is this video about? Let me check this out. And going to it, looking at it, and being like, you know what I mean? I just feel like that's so sick of them to be totally controlled by Lifetime and Gypsy Rose's show that they will put it all aside to be like, okay, we won't say anything, or we won't question it, or whatever the case. Knowing damn well that there's proof out there that goes against everything she's putting out to the public, to mainstream media. Like, everything is a lie. Or an over-exaggeration. Or something like that. It's ridiculous. And then you have her online on TikTok having people's pages taken down. She recently had Ivory Rose Grows Wild's main page taken down, and that's my girl right there. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you, Gypsy Rose? And we know damn well it was you and probably Bree and whoever else, because she's the first one y'all are gonna go after because of this bullshit. Or it's your fucking stupid stands that are standing up for you because of what they've seen on your stupid ass show. That could also be a possibility. But So honestly, I mean, what do you guys think about the thought that Gypsy Rose could possibly be the one causing Parker and Aurora and Ken even to be in danger? We all seem to also disregard who she really is when we have everybody else in the world focused on her show and what she's portraying on there. So then everyone else that starts to get Gypsy Rose back on the mind and starts looking into everything, they are going to look at us as nothing but a bunch of bullshit. And it's so fucking I was going to say hectic. I've been reacting to Anne Boleyn for too long. Oh my God. Anyways, if she's going to show the baby's face, I mean, if she's going to blah, 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 this or that, whatever. I mean, we're allowing her to keep us distracted from what's really fucking going on. What's really going on is the fact that she wants us focused on the show and the bullshit going on there. And so she's even gone to the stretch of absolutely almost showing Aurora's entire face, which she said and swore up and down she would never fucking do. And Gypsy's manipulation is very complex, though. Gypsy makes sure that she controls everything around her.
I like wear filters all the time, but so
She even manipulates you. She manipulates us or you with distraction a lot of the time. I believe that this distraction is a manipulation tactic, or she's making sure that she controls what mainstream media consumes about her or whatever, or how she's portrayed to the world. Lifetime and her PR team definitely now play a huge role in how she thinks, and she's very much media trained, very much, from childhood even. And you can see it in her own interrogation. Now, then I think about, well, how does she manipulate to reoffend? Well, just like she was very much groomed by her mother, I believe that she's very much grooming the people that watch her, the stands, if you will, or the mainstream media, basically, because we seem to be like we're very far, and in between, and it's weird. But I noticed on her Instagram that she's really, really been focusing on herself lately and showing off her body and it looking like a nutcase dancing all over for whatever reason she's decided lately. But and all that I see is her portraying this, look, I'm not a murderer, or I'm not a murderer, you guys. I'm an influencer. Look, I'm dancing on TikTok, you guys. Duh. Like, hello? I am. But that's what she wants you to believe, is that she's this new social media influencer. Like, I guess that's how I think of influencers. Like, no, I'm kidding. So Gypsy grooms her audience, like I said, and in the same way that she groomed Nicholas Godejohn as well, for 2 years before the actual unaliving occurred. Check out the interrogation, and I want you to watch how performative she is, and just how she's trying to portray this. I'm a good girl. Duh. Like, how dare you think something bad? Like, I have these handcuffs on, and people are looking at me, and I'm just like, I'm a good girl. Stupid ass fucking bitch. Like, oh God, it's just like so. It almost burns my eardrums to have to hear her say that shit. And in the beginning of it, it's just like he's arresting him, not me. I don't know why I'm here. I mean, it's like, what the fuck? And you can tell in her voice in the interrogation as well. Before, again, I'll show it to you in a minute. Just look in the interrogation for this. You can tell in her voice that what she's saying, and she's actually like almost, you can tell she's performative, but almost like she's very ignorant in her interaction. It's hard for her to read the room, you know? You're not understanding, honey, what's going on here. And so like, you're almost making it cringe and uncomfortable, really, because she's just not 100% reading the room. I just can't think of another way to put it, you know? I don't know if you guys quite understand, or if you will when you watch it, what I'm talking about, but I do believe that she's cognitively behind. And with that being said, that would be why she isn't able to read the room and why she is so arrogant, because her growing up wasn't abuse like everybody thinks it was. She was going to trips and all this other jazz that was because of her illness. She was going on interviews. She was always, something was always happening, and it had to do a lot with media. And so she has the media training, I'm sure, from way back when she was a child, and how she should act on camera and everything like that. And then as she's gotten older, I'm sure that's come with her, obviously, if all of this has. And then on top of it, you know, she even states in this video in the beginning of it, of the interrogation, that her mother kicked her out. And the reason that I bring that up, because a lot of people will speculate that that's just an excuse that she was putting out there to be like, she's telling him that her mother kicked her out. But like prior to that, in their text messages, I believe it was some kind of something to do with Nick. I believe it was in their text messages or something like that, where she's even telling him that her mother did kick her out, you know, for real, because of him or something like that, or because of I forgot what the reasoning was. But if your mother kicked you out, how are you being held there is what I don't understand. There's just, this case is so blatantly obvious that it almost should be embarrassing to any cop that worked on this case at all. Because this is just insanely, just so preventable in so many ways. And maybe not the unaliving of Dee Dee. I don't know if that could have been prevented, though, too, to be honest with you. I don't know. Let's just move on. Oh, yes, you can also tell in her voice what she's saying, that she's very ignorant, very much acting, very childlike, very, all I can say, like, the only word that comes to mind is ignorant to the situation.
Has there been any news about the man that I came here with?
I didn't know you came here with anyone. That's a little I know.
Yeah.
So?
I'm originally from Missouri, and I came here. My mom kicked me out of the house because she was like, "Oh, it's time to, grow up." So I got out on my own, and I called my boyfriend, and he lives in Big Bend, and he came down to Springfield to pick me up. Anyway, we take our own bus, and everything seems fine. Our bus got delayed a little bit, but we got here okay. And then a couple days went by, perfectly normal. All of a sudden, we wake up to a loud knock at the door. And they're like, "Waukesha County Police, you're under arrest." And, well, he's the only one that's under arrest. I'm not really sure why I'm here. And anyway, they took us, and I'm here. And I don't know what's going on with them. Then I had to go to the hospital and get some more medicine because I have a seizure disorder.
Okay.
That's what kind of knocked me out.
Busy day, huh?
It's kind of weird though. People see me in handcuffs and give me this weird look, and I'm like, I didn't do anything. I'm like, okay, I'm number one. I didn't kill nobody. I don't do drugs. I don't smoke. I don't drink. I didn't do nothing. I'm a good girl.
So let me know if you need anything else.
Looks wonderful.
We're gonna get you some water or something to drink. That's right. There you go. I need soda or anything? Or
No, sir.
water?
I'm scared.
You're
I'm
good?
actually staying comfortable.
You're comfortable? Good. Alright, well, I'll let you get back to sleep. You got a little bit of time to get here. Alright?
Are there any movie theaters nearby?
Movie theaters?
I really like to see the Jurassic World. And I'm a huge Star Wars fan, so. Yeah, I'll be able to just talk to the detective and go to the house where I was at, because that's where my stuff is.
Okay, so, what is the correct spelling of your first name?
It's Gypsyrose, and my middle initial is A.
Okay,
Blanchard is Blanchard.
Blanchard. Okay, okay. All right, and your date of birth, Gypsy?
Is 7/27/1995. On here they have I won because let me it's a long story, but
Okay, sure.
me and my mother are Hurricane Katrina survivors,
Okay,
and my birth certificate was washed away in Katrina,
okay,
and unfortunately they messed up a long time ago. They messed up the paperwork, and it said 1991, but it's actually 95.
okay. And that puts you at how old then?
I would be really 19, but on here it's fine. Medicaid, my member insurance has 23.
Okay, all right. So how old actually are you? Let's see.
19.
19. Okay.
Social Security.
Yeah, absolutely. Gypsy, do you know your social security number?
Unfortunately, I don't. I brought my card with me, but
Okay.
it's at my boyfriend's house.
Okay, we'll get with that later then. All right. Well, Gypsy, we are here investigating something, so I do need to talk with you about some things, okay?
I'm thankful because I have no idea why I'm here.
Okay.
Nobody will tell me anything.
Yeah, do you ever do anything on the computer? Do you ever play games or anything on the computer? Do you ever mess with the computer or anything like that?
I don't really have a computer.
Okay.
No.
Did you ever have a cell phone that you played around on or anything like that? No? Okay. No laptop or
No.
cable
My
fire or
mom
anything?
didn't let me use one because she was like, it's unsafe. So,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why did she feel like that was unsafe?
My mom tended to be overprotective.
Okay. If you're involved in this, then you need to tell me that now. Okay.
I'm
And,
completely 100% honest.
and let me talk for just a second, okay? But if you're involved in this, then you need to be honest with me. You need to tell me now and not wait till later. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How did you get from Missouri to here?
Not about a week ago, it was, it all started when, I met my boyfriend Nick,
Okay.
okay? And, we met on an online dating website. My mom had a laptop, and so I
And I want you to understand that you need to be honest with me. And if you're involved in anything that I'm about ready to tell you, then you need to tell me. Okay? Your mom's dead. Okay? Now, what I want to ask you
wait,
is
what?
your mom's passed away. Okay? And she's deceased. All right? Now, what I want to ask you, did you have involvement in this? Okay? Just,
No.
hang on, listen to me for just a second, okay? I want you to understand something, okay? Do not dig yourself in a bunch of lies, because what's going to happen, that snowball's going to get so huge, sweetheart, that it's going to explode on you, and you're never, ever going to dig yourself out of it. Do you understand me?
I understand. I don't tell lies.
Okay, then don't sit here and lie to me, because if you do, what's going to happen is it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. You're not going to remember the ones that you've told other people, okay? All right.
Would you like me to start from the beginning? I would never hurt my mom.
Okay, sweetheart, do you really want to dig yourself, you're digging yourself deeper,
No,
okay?
seriously, I would never hurt her.
Listen to me, okay? I don't play around with that, okay? I'm not gonna play around with this, okay?
Sir, I didn't do
Listen to me.
anything. I think I said things very, very clearly. You think that it's me? Why would you think that it's me? I have always loved my mom. My mom and I are best friends.
Listen to me. Listen to me. Please don't get yourself in this hole, and then that's what you're doing. You're still doing it. Okay.
May I please speak? I don't really know what happened.
She lies so fluently. She really is trying to manipulate the situation. The performance that she put on when the detective tells her that her mother's dead, the performance that she put on when the officer, or the detective, I should say, tells her that her mother is dead. I mean, that performance was fucking diabolical. That was wild. Just like she did that to the detective, she's putting on a show. Only thing is, society believes her bullshit. Whereas during the interrogation, the officers trained not to believe that kind of shit, to not be sucked in by the bullshit. No, society isn't always, not all of them is that smart. I'm just saying. Not, those of us that are out here, protesting this are the smart ones being like, what the fuck ever? But during the entire interrogation, while she's waiting for the detective, she's like fucking eating and sleeping. All this shit, like, bitch, how are you so, ready to just take a nap after what you've done? How are you ready to just be without your mother? You've unalived her. Who gives a shit, right? Acting so sweet and innocent. I'm just sweet Gypsy Rose, even though I planned a unaliving for 2 years. But I'm so cute, right? Like, what is wrong with her? And then later on, in what I'm going to show you, you'll find out that she was even yelling at poor Nick after the unaliving happened, after it occurred, screaming at him how he shouldn't be crying and he shouldn't be feeling guilty about what he just did. Excuse you, bitch. You were the one that asked him to do such an heinous fucking crime. And now you want to act like, excuse me, what are you feeling anything for? You didn't just lose your mother. It's probably where her mind was, fucking bitch. And that's what I want to show you in this next. And she didn't give a shit what she had just done. Not just to her mother, but to Nick Godejohn as well. She didn't care. It was over now. She didn't give two fucks. The deed that she wanted done was done. Only she thought that she was going to go home after the interrogation. But no, you were going to jail. Just where you belong and still do belong. Because Nick Godejohn thought that he was saving her. And that's a huge difference from thinking that this is just a fun time, like a real, actual sick murderer would feel. He's thinking actually, it's not an excuse. And I'm not saying that he isn't, possibly a sick person from other stuff that's come out. But I'm just saying in that moment, in that time.
Guys, so I ran into an old article about Gypsy Rose and Nicholas Godejohn that was published in early January of 2018. Mind you, Gypsy Rose was already sentenced at this point. Nicholas Godejohn was going to be sentenced in November of 2018, and this was January. People magazine must have the jail and interviewed Gypsy and Nicholas separately. And I'm going to show you what each of them had to say in People's Magazine interview. So as you can see, the heading of the name of the article was dated on January 4th, 2018 at 5:12 p.m. It's a 28-minute read, and it says, how a young woman forced to use a wheelchair, treated for several illnesses, ended up in prison for her mother's unaliving. Once praised for her battle with illnesses, Gypsy is now a convicted murderer. So I'm just going to be overing a few parts of the article because it is a 28-minute read, but I'm just going to point out a few things that Gypsy said and a few things that Nicholas said. In this part, Gypsy said, because I would never unalive somebody, I would never physically go through with it. Unaliving somebody, I can't.
And then Gypsy also said, I don't hate him. I feel sorry for him. And just that somebody could do something so heartless and not express remorse and not feel like he's responsible for it. He was very much like my mother in certain ways, she added. And I feel like I was trained my whole life to do as I was told. Okay, so I could say a lot on that, but I'm not. Okay, so in this quotated part, this is Nicholas Godejohn speaking, and he says, I felt horrible about it. When me and her were in the hotel room, she kept on telling me, stop crying, stop crying. There's no reason to cry. It was my idea. It wasn't yours, Godejohn told 2020 in an exclusive interview from jail. Gypsy comforted me about it. I prayed once we got here. I tried to get her mother's soul to forgive me. He's talking about once he got to prison. He said he went through with the plan because he thought he wanted to protect Gypsy and rescue her from her mother. I did what I did because I loved her. I really wanted a life with her. I really did, Godejohn said. For several days, Gypsy and Godejohn enjoyed life together. They were caught on surveillance cameras around Springfield and shopping at Walmart seemingly without a care or worry on their minds. Nicholas Godejohn continues to say, all the planning she did, every bit of it. She pretty much willed the thing in my hand to commit the deed herself. She is the mastermind behind the entire thing, Godejohn said. Though she is in prison, Gypsy said she couldn't be happier and she is working to get her GED. She admits not a day goes by when she doesn't miss her mother. Gypsy says, all I could hope is that wherever she is, that she still loves me in some small way, Gypsy said in tears, which we all know is fake. And I want her to know that I am sorry. I am so sorry. Now, I could go on and on for days about this article because Gypsy is always the victim in every scenario situation she places herself in or talks about. And we see it even here today on the show, on anything that's pertaining to Gypsy's life. She is always the victim. But, Gypsy, your mother would have never been on Nicholas Godejohn's radar at all because he lived states, miles away from you. You found him on the internet, a man that was low IQ'd, had autism, and that you knew you could convince to do something to your mother that you wanted done, that you planned for years. Not only that, but before Nicholas, you even tried to do it yourself and just didn't work out as you planned. There were Google searches. There were the other unaliving episode where you used a pew-pew and you thought it was real, but it was a different kind of pew-pew that didn't work. But like I said, you always play the victim, and I feel so bad for Nicholas. Maybe he does have a messed up mind, but I truly, truly believe that he deserved a fair trial. As far as all the weird stuff that you introduced him to, as far as your hyper-sexuality, that was all because of you, sweetheart. That was you, not him. Just like you're doing to Ken right now on the last episode where you went to that store and buying handcuffs and blah, blah, blah. Like I said, I could go on and on for days about this, but I ran into that article on a post the other day, and I read the whole thing, and it just really upset me because, of course, Gypsy is playing the victim, as always, and it made me really super disgusted because Nicholas is sitting in there for life while you are out here parading around, living your best life, and you can call it, all you Gypsy stands can call it haters, or that I'm jealous, or whatever you want to call it, but I promise you, I am not jealous of Gypsy Rose in any means, shape, way, or form. I assure you. I would never want to be affiliated or called a murderer by any means necessary. I would never want the public to know me as that. And it's really shameful that our society is doing this to her. I don't understand the minds of people that actually take up for this girl. I really don't. Like, are y'all being paid off at this point? I don't understand. I don't get it. Can y'all please tell me why you take up for her still? Because she has been caught in so many untruths at this point. It baffles me. Anyway, that's just my yapping for the day, whatever you want to call it. I hope y'all had a wonderful day.
He didn't do it out of malice or anything, though. And he's, of course, going to feel that guilt, Gypsy Rose. I don't understand why you would want to shame him or make him feel uncomfortable about that. And in fact, you should be comforting him because of what you just made him do. I mean, like I said, he's guilty, of course, yes. I mean, as much as I don't believe that he didn't do it out of malice, as much as I don't believe that he's a sick murderer, I do believe that he deserved a fair trial. And I don't believe that he actually got one because of the media influence on it all. And the media has had its hand in all of this. And that's a huge reason why the manipulation even occurs in the first place. It's really fucking sick. The manipulation by Gypsy now only is she manipulates and grooms society. Just like a network would. Because she's been taught since she was a child, you know, all of the PR stuff. But now she's learning the behind the scenes fucking show making type stuff. So of course she's going to try to use the same tactics on the people that watch her. The media had to come in and sprinkle their little bit of fairy dust on the whole situation and basically fucked it up for everyone except Gypsy. You know?
I've been looking through the 417-page FOIA for Mr. Nicholas Godejohn, and I found something that's very interesting. And of course, I'll be honest with you guys, I only halfway watched the entire trial for him, because at the time, again, I did not believe that that was the relevant story, because I thought that the whole story revolved around the fact that Gypsy claimed that her mother abused her with medical child abuse. I want you guys to hear this closing statement that was given at next trial, thinking about the fact that, yes, they were talking about a diminished capacity defense. They should have called all kinds of different things. They should have called a different expert witness that's in there. There's all these different things. But this page in particular made me think. Let me show you. So on this page here, it says that the state was able to make the following closing argument to the jury without any contrary evidence being presented by the defense. Now here it goes. I want you to hear this. This is the closing statement. And absolutely, you heard as part of the facts that Gypsy did have a role. She was the one to ask the defendant to kill her mom. But we have to be careful and separate out what is collaboration versus manipulation. Because there could be this sense that because Gypsy was the one that asked the defendant, somehow she manipulated the defendant into unaliving her mom. Let's think about that for a minute. Think about manipulation. It requires some kind of deception. I don't want to steal a car, so I tell you, hey, see that car over there? That owner said I could have it. It's okay. Could you just go over and get it for me? That's manipulation because we're deceiving. Make sure you look at that word, deceiving, right? Versus, hey, that car over there, I want to steal it. Do you want to do it for me? That's not manipulation. She asked him, but he said yes. And if you think about it in a way, Gypsy asked in the least manipulative way because she didn't lie at all. She put it all out there. She didn't try to do it through innuendo. She didn't make up things. She just said, this is what's happening to me. Will you unalive my mom? There's no manipulation there because ultimately it was the defendant's decision. Nothing was held back from him. And if anything was evident from the dynamic of their relationship that you saw in the Facebook, in the text messages, in the interview, and in Gypsy's testimony, Nicholas Godejohn was not made to ever do anything Nicholas Godejohn did not want to do. So, Mr. Patterson, care to speak for yourself? Do you? No? You were awfully quiet about this, sir. Now look, everybody's been asking me to talk about this 417-page document that's been out there. There's other documents that are included in this, and I believe it totals up to about 1,000 pages, but I already had a lot of those things. So it probably came in their FOIAs because they were getting the first stuff, too. So my thing is this 417 pages. Look, I want to tell you something. It does not look good for either one of these people. But I'm going to tell you what. Looking at Nicholas's appeal and knowing what I know right now, he did not get a fair trial. That does not make me believe that he should be free. That means that I believe that he should have been sentenced differently and other evidence should have been given to the jury to see. And I feel like they held certain things on purpose, allegedly, in my opinion, for entertainment and educational purposes only. And the media is responsible for this largely. And so we are working on a course right now about media involvement in true crime cases and how they can manipulate a narrative. And if they sell the narrative well enough, doesn't matter if it's true or not. Have a good one from the Good Wives. Serving up true crime, one dish at a time. What do you think about that closing statement now that we know what we know? Drop it in the comments. Bye, guys. Mwah.
It's so messed up how this is even a problem that we're having to deal with. This is not something that should even be reality about the diminished capacity defense that they're trying to get for Nick and keep for Nick. But I don't think it ended up working out in his favor, to be quite honest with you. But, you know, tell me what your thoughts are on Nick Godejohn and the entire situation. The description of manipulation that the lawyer gave in his closing statement. Like, what do you think about that? Just all of this is of major concern. The manipulation, the whole entire thing, I wish could just be like re-looked through and redone completely. Because Gypsy Rose and the media and HBO had her swiped in their vision before she even fully went to prison. That's just insane to me. And Christy and all of them are all behind it. It's all one big fucking shit show. And now you've got Ivory Rose Grows Wild's TikTok page taken down completely. Good for you, Gypsy Rose. Did you achieve something that really made your heart warm and fuzzy? I just don't get it with you. And there's a lot of people out there that I don't get. But the thing about it with you is that somebody better start getting it before you reoffend. Because I truly, wholeheartedly believe you will one day reoffend. And that's all for the video for today. This is Baby Girl, and I'm going to sign out now. I love you guys with all my heart. Don't be an asshole. Call your mother, and I'll see you in the next video.